Hey guys, I'm Cliffface Outdoors, and today I'm going to compare a K-Bar and an Ontario 498. Let's get into the video. This is the Ontario 498. It's made of high carbon steel and has a black zinc phosphate coating. It's pretty sharp and keeps its edge. The guard is straight but kind of wobbly. The grips are 5 inches long and made of leather. The black guard on the back is pinned in and also kind of wobbly. The black leather sheath is riveted and stitched together, and it's pretty stiff, which I like about it. The buttons on it make it easy to get the blade out quickly and safely. This is the K-Bar. It has a 7-inch long Crovan 1095 steel blade. It has USMC stamped on one side and Olean, New York on the other. It has a fuller and a false edge ground into it. It comes razor sharp out of the box and has bent back guards. The stacked leather handle is oval in shape and is comfortable to hold. The steel butt cap is made of, steel and is pinned in. The sheath has USMC and the insignia stamped into it, along with K-Bar. It has buckles in it, which make unsheathing the knife easy and kind of safe. The sheath, in my opinion, is kind of flimsy. Here are the two knives side by side. They're about the same size. The blade length is about 7 inches, and the handle length is about 5 inches. The K-Bar and the Ontario are both made with 1095 high carbon steel. The K-Bar has a fuller ground in on both sides. The Ontario doesn't have a fuller. They are both clip point blades. The K-Bar has a false edge, while the Ontario doesn't have a false edge. The Ontario is a thick knife all the way down to the tip, and the K-Bar thins down towards the tip. The K-Bar has USMC stamped on one side and K-Bar Olean, New York on the other. The Ontario just has US Ontario stamped on the back. The K-Bar's guard is pretty bent back, while the Ontario's is pretty straight. They both have a stacked leather handle. The Ontario's is more spherical than the K-Bar's, which is more of an oval shape. They both have steel pommels on the back that are pinned in. The sheaths are pretty similar too. They both buckle in. The K-Bar's has K-Bar stamped into it. The United States Marine Corps insignia stamped in, and USMC. It is riveted in and stitched. The Ontario 498s is pretty plain black leather. It is a little more robust in my opinion than the K-Bars. It has 7 rivets just like the K-Bars. I'll be talking about the pros and cons for each blade. First, the pros and cons about the Ontario 498. The pros are that it's affordable. It's about $50 if you buy it online. It stays sharp for a while. It is made of high carbon steel, which retains its edge better than stainless steel. It has a coating on it which will prevent rust unless you take it off like I did. It's got a pretty nice guard and a stacked leather handle. The sheath also is pretty good. It has a buckle on it, so your knife won't slip out while you're out hiking or hunting or whatever. It is a pretty robust sheath, in my opinion. It's a little more robust than the Kabars. The cons: the pommel is kind of loose, as you can see. The hilt is also kind of loose, which can be pretty dangerous. The handle is a little too spherical for my taste. It kind of rolls around when I'm either cutting wood or whatever I'm doing, and that can be pretty dangerous and you can cut yourself. Overall, it's a pretty solid knife. Here are some pros and cons on the Kabar. Some of the cons are that the sheath is kind of flimsy, and I like a stiff sheath. The knife is just good all around. The handle can get a little cumbersome if you hold it for too long. Some of the pros are that the knife is made in the US, the sheath is made in Mexico, and the knife is made from 1095 high carbon steel. It has a chromium vanadium coating, which prevents rust. The edge holds for a while. The handle is oval in shape. It's more comfortable to hold than the Ontario. The cap and the guard aren't loose. Overall, it's a pretty nice knife. They will be going side by side in a competition to see which one is better. First up is the sharpness test. Here's the Ontario 498 versus a piece of paper. That's a pretty clean cut. It's a little frayed, but it's a very sharp blade. The back doesn't cut very well, and neither does the point. Here's the Kabar versus the piece of paper. That is a very clean cut. Slightly frayed, but it's pretty much razor sharp. Let's see how the back cuts. The clip point and the false edge make the back a little cleaner cutting, but it still won't cut. Here is a twig. The Ontario 498 is going to see if it can feather stick it. It can slightly feather stick, but it's pretty dirty. Here's the Kabar versus the twig. Yeah, it can slightly feather stick. I'll be doing a stab test. First up is the Ontario 498. That's a fairly clean cut. Next up, the K-bar. That felt very clean. From what I can tell, the K-bar is a bit better at stabbing cardboard than the 498. The 498 was a little bit rough, while the K-bar felt very clean. In my opinion, I think the K-bar is a little bit better than the Ontario. The K-bar is a little bit more expensive. I got mine for about $90. The Ontario is about $50. The K-bar came sharp, like razor sharp, straight out of the box. The Ontario needed some work. The Ontario's handle is a bit uncomfortable. The K-bar's handle was, in my opinion, a lot more comfortable. The K-bar's sheath is a little bit flimsy. I am not the biggest fan of it, but the Ontario's sheath is pretty robust, and I like it a little bit more than the K-bars. So overall, I think the K-bar is a little bit better. Both are pretty good options, don't get me wrong, but like, come on, it's a K-bar. Thank you for watching this episode of Cliff Face Outdoors. It was a fun comparison between the two knives, and if you enjoyed this video, please give me a like, a comment, or a subscribe. It means a lot to me and the future of this channel. That's all I have for today. Bye.